great information we want to share, and we have some wonderful speakers here. Audra Zunn's here. She's from the USPS representative out of the Lehigh Valley, and we were very fortunate to have her come down from that area, and she's going to go over one of the things. We got Katie Ryan, who does our mail list. She's going to be customer service with us. We got Swyler Dell. We're just going to split some of the topics up, so just to kind of keep it fresh and keep as much information going as we can. So in your area, you're going to see a packet of materials. There's some of the new coatings are in here. You might have seen these types of applications. Caskey Group service lines are in there. There's a survey that, before you leave, if you could fill out the survey for us and just give us your honest opinion on what you see here today, because we always like to have a survey to learn what we can see there. There's some mail solutions, there's a flyer in there, and there's also some 2019 promotions that the USPS has going on. So you definitely want to take a look at that package. You also see it's called a guide to learning more for the creative teams that are here, and you may want to take that back to the folks that actually do your creative. It's a wonderful guide to show you sizes of envelopes and mailings and how you put tabs on pieces, and just a lot of great information in this book. It also, at the end of it, shows you our house papers that we have. So a lot of times people will call in, they'll say, I just want it on a coated sheet. Well, what weight is it? Or, it just gives you a nice guide to have. So that's there for you. So going through, we also have a couple people online that are throughout the country. It's the first time we actually did a live live program like this. So it's going to be interesting to see if we have any live questions online as well. So, companies that are here today, and I thought it was really interesting when we seen the types of companies that are here, and there's such a mixture of all of you. We've got education type client here. We've got a gaming, casino type business with us. We have insurance companies, we have utility companies, creative firms, manufacturers, associations. So all of you have different types of direct mail and different types of needs. And that's what I really hope that we'll be able to. Hi Joey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah. So it's I'm sure as we'll go through the education here, there's just, I always say with the USPS, every time you think you learn and know a lot about it, there's something else to learn. And for those of you that deal directly with the post office, you know what I'm saying. You got to learn a tremendous amount about what's going on. So a little bit about Caskey Group. We started in 1986. The gentleman's name is Greg Caskey. He was with us for quite a while. 6 years ago, I purchased the company from him and changed the name from Caskey Printing to Caskey Group. 60% of what we do today is still print. The other 40% is just a mixture of communications. Very fortunate we have two programmers on site that does our websites for us. We control about 75 websites today. We have a full-fledged mail department that does a fantastic job. We have 3 ways of output. We've got digital, which gives us variable data, as well as static printing. We have offset printing that we can do large mailings, and then we have wide format that is now starting to do some digital boxes, and it's just interesting to see how some of those wide format products are coming down in the mail stream. So that's an interesting aspect of what's going on. So Joey just got here, but her predecessor, basically, she looked at me in 2001, and she said, listen, she says, we're not going to use a printing firm and a mail firm anymore. We're going to pretty much use one company to do all our printing and mail. So I went back to Greg Caskey and I said, Greg, I said, we got to do the mailings on these jobs. We're going to be a partner to that company. And he's like, what do we know about mail? That was pretty much what he said to me when we went back there. And I'm like, well, we got to learn if we're going to be a partner. So we went out, we bought an inkjet machine, we bought an inserter, got a mail manager, and that's how we started. So 17 years ago, I think back, like how big of a deal that was and the mistakes we made early on and just trying to learn the mail. And today, that's just common things we do. Mail is just part of the process. But it's interesting to see over the past 17 years how the mail has changed, so it's very interesting. But to give you just quickly, in the month of October, it was our largest sales month we had in the company's history. We have a 15% growth going on, and I'm just really proud of this company at this point because we've done really, really well. And I think about why are we doing well, and I think the reason why we're doing well is because the people that we serve or partner with are doing well, and that's why our company is growing. And the interesting thing about it is the direct mail is now increased to a point that we're seeing significant impact on mail. So we went through the whole process where email came about, cut the direct mail down. We went through all the processes and all the things where direct mail was going to be eliminated and it wasn't going to be a part. Well, that's not true. And to give you an idea, I went down over to the mailer yesterday and I said, just give me, in the last 2 weeks, what did we mail? What's the projects we mailed? And these were all the different the products that went out. A lot of postcards, brochures, newsletters, communication correspondence, just such a wide range, flats to small mailings to large mailings. And I'm sure you can see, this election just took place. How much election mailings was there? And what was in your mailbox? No matter what side you're on. I mean, there was just a tremendous amount of election mailings last month. That's part of the reason why we've seen the amount of direct mail we've seen. So, every successful direct mail campaign begins with one important question, and that's, what do you want to accomplish? And I'm curious to know, what do you want to accomplish when it comes to direct mail? Does anybody want to just talk about that for a moment? What do you want to accomplish when you mail something? What do you want to accomplish?
Increase sales.
Foot traffic.
Increase sales, foot traffic, educate. Anybody else have anything other than that?
Getting your name out there who you are.
Get your name out. Attendance. Yeah. They're all things. They're all legitimate to the businesses that you're involved in. And when we think about this, and these are statistics that they're real statistics. $60 billion is spent each year in direct mail. So all of us are a part of that $60 billion. What we do is part of that $60 billion. It's a tremendous number. It really is. And why do companies do it? Now, yesterday, Google made the announcement that they're going to make Amazon made their statement yesterday that they're going to put half of the company on the East Coast in New York and the other half outside of Washington, D.C. area. Now think about Amazon, Google, all those large companies. You get direct mail from them companies. And why do you get direct mail? And it has to work, or they would not be sending it to you. And that's the thing, when you go in the mailbox, you see some of these large companies. They have no reason to send us direct mail if it didn't work. And that's a great example of how, just how companies are using direct mail. So why? And some of these that you just said are here on the list. You're doing some type of direct mail to prospect the new customers, qualify sales leads to the sales team, establishing and maintaining relationships, cross-product selling to existing customers. You're trying to sell an additional service that you have. Generate customer loyalty, keep them coming back, keep them coming. Solicit the potential donors and be able to, not just potential but also existing donors. And it's a communication tool. It's really what it is. It's all about communications. So think about it this way. Think about when you go on vacation and you leave home for a week, and you come back. If a relative didn't get your mail, you went to the post office, you held your mail. You come back, you got the wash to take care of, you got the kids to take care of, you got the house to take care of, and then there's this palace record. And I'm sure all of us have been there, and it's a stack of, depending who you are, depending how big your stack is, you know. But I find myself, it's like chew. What? And I'm not interested in that. Over here's my bills. Over here's what's relevant to me, and it's real quick. And what's not relevant to me gets thrown away, and that's the material that I look at. And I always think about when we're creating these mail campaigns, what's relevant to the end user that's going to be reading this? Because if it's not relevant, I'm not going to read it. It's going to be real quick, you know. And I think that's really part of what we all have to, all of us have to think about is when we create these campaigns and we do direct mail. We got to keep in mind constantly, it's not just about creating that mail, it's about getting those results for that mailing and making sure that we're sending it to the right people. So when we talked about this, Kodak came up with this about 5 years ago. I went to a seminar and Kodak was there, and they talked about this. Two reasons why people use direct mail. And there was 99%, and we all went around the room and we tried to find a reason why it didn't go into these two categories. And it either falls into education or it falls into that you're selling something. And it's 99% of the things that are in the mailbox today. And I truly believe that because everything that we see go through our hands, it's one or the other. Marketing considerations. A lot of creative people are here. So things that we see some beautiful direct mail at times, fold over cards, just all kinds of different types of things, beautiful things. Most of the time, the direct mail is relevant. It's most of the time the date's correct. He's going to talk a little bit about this more. But we got to make sure that we have some type of offer. We got to make sure that we have the materials going to the right audience. We got to make sure we understand what our competition's doing. We got to realize, the response. What is the most important thing? And all those questions, when you look at that final proof that you create, these are the types of things that I would encourage you to really think about, because it's all things that are really important to make sure that those pieces are effective. So, how many of you have ever used informed delivery? Do you know what informed delivery is? Charlene?
I get it every day.
Yeah? Get it on your phone or get it on your computer?
I get both. I can get it both ways. I get an email and I get it either on my phone. Lately, their emails have been sporadic, so I just check it through the app.
So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down into different categories now and talk about new things that are on the market and also talk about things that you may have seen, you may have not, but I'm going to turn this over to Audra, and she is going to talk about informed delivery.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for having me today. We're going to talk about informed delivery, and I'm very excited. Only one person in this whole room knows about informed delivery, so hopefully I won't put you to sleep over the next 10 or 15 minutes while we talk about this new and exciting service. Informed delivery is the marriage of the physical mail piece and a digital presence using the mail. So we call it direct mail on steroids, where I come from. So every day in our omni-channel world, consumers have various marketing channels coming at them. They get a zillion emails, they get digital ads. I can't even play my Words with Friends without something popping up in between games. It's very annoying, and I'm not paying $99 to get rid of them, so I just bypass them. But if you look at the statistics, we're all being marketed at constantly. You drive down the highway and there's a billboard every quarter mile. So the value of the mail moment, we've touched on that a little bit. These are some statistics that come from our own studies and also the Direct Marketing Association. So direct mail outperforms digital channels by nearly 600%. 84% of the people in the world pick their mail up at the first opportunity. So what does that mean? Well, I get home, I check the mailbox, right? Just got home, I'm gonna check the mailbox. I don't go in, have lunch, and then check the mailbox. Nope, I usually go check the mailbox. That's what people do. 78% sort their mail at the first opportunity. So I bring the mail in and I flip through it right away. And most people spend about 7.5 minutes with their mail, okay? And you're shaking your head no. But I bet you haven't really timed it and thought about it. So once you flip through and decide what's important to you, that important mail can get up to 7.5 minutes of your time. So adapting to the changing marketplace, consumers now shop and purchase 24/7, right? Everybody's got their tablet, their phone, their computer. Experiences are the new products, right? So people want to be engaged. They want to know they matter. Those experiences, the customer experience is important. And we have on-demand access to everything, right? So I'm in the store and I want to see, well, wait, does the competition have this on sale? Maybe I'll wait and buy it there, right? So we're checking our phone and we're looking at different things. So Informed Delivery integrates hard copy mail and digital marketing, which gives us the ability to offer an omni-channel marketing approach to help us meet the consumer demands. So what is it? It is a subscription service. So before all of you leave today, I'm going to encourage you to sign up, and I have an app on my phone that will sign you up in literally about 1.5 minutes. So then you will become an Informed Delivery subscriber. Every day in the morning, you will get an email that shows you what's coming in your mailbox that day. So it's grayscale digital images of what's coming in your mailbox that day. It looks something like this, okay? And I always like to tell people, Swiler's heard this story, so even the naysayers who said, I don't really want to see what bills I have coming this day, right? Okay. So I am married to Fred Flintstone. He is a caveman. If he could still have his flip phone, he would have it, but I convinced him a smartphone would be better. And I signed him up for Informed Delivery. And he said to me, you're wasting your time because I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to delete it. Well, I said, I don't care. It's my job. Let's sign you up. So we signed him up for Informed Delivery. And lo and behold, he checks that email every morning. And he tells me, guess what? The PP&L bill's coming today. And I said, I know, because I saw it in our Informed Delivery. And then he'll say to me, how come I don't know my Golf Digest is coming in the morning, you know? And I say, because Golf Digest is a flat, and they have to give us the image, and we have to put it in the system, and then he's lost, right? But all he knows is he can't see when the Golf Digest is coming. But I told him that I will find out who publishes that, and we'll see if we can't get that taken care of. But as mailers, you have the ability to make this information interactive, and this is the very exciting part. So, how's it work? So you sign up, and we're going to sign you up today, hopefully. All of your mail is imaged during our processing, and we've been doing this for 20 years. In order for the machine to read your zip code, it has to take an image of the mail piece. So we've been taking images of the mail for a very, very long time. The images are matched to the delivery point, and then the notification is sent to the user, usually in the morning. I usually get mine by 8 o'clock in the morning at the very latest. And then in the afternoon, when you get home, during your regular delivery, you receive the physical mail piece. In this middle part here, this is where if you've set up an interactive campaign, it's applied when the images are processed. So here's what we know about Informed Delivery so far. So Informed Delivery is fairly new. It's been out about 2 years. You probably haven't heard about it yet because we're really slowly ramping up our subscriber base. Currently, we have in excess of 13 million subscribers. This past week, we released our holiday commercial, which has an Informed Delivery element attached to it. So if you see our commercial for the holidays, Santa's checking the mail, and he can see what's coming in the mailbox. So, but here's what people have said about the service from the time that we piloted it. 95% are satisfied or very satisfied with Informed Delivery. You love it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 95% look at their Informed Delivery every day or almost every day. How many of you would like to have a 95% email open rate on your campaigns, right? And 96% would recommend informed delivery to their family, friends, or colleagues. Again, how many people would like to have 96% recommend one of your products or services, right? People view it 60% of the time on mobile, 33% of the time on computer or laptop, and 7% on a tablet. And 88% of our subscribers are reading that email first thing in the morning. So here's some of the feedback. It's convenient, we have early action, I have visibility and security, and I have access while I'm away. So even if your mail's on hold, you're getting that daily email that shows you what's in your mail waiting for you when you get home. So does this add value to your mailing campaign? Well, the emails have a 70% open rate, so that's more than twice the industry average. You're getting multiple impressions from a single mail piece. So you're sending out one piece of mail, and if I'm a subscriber, I'm getting the email in the morning. My husband's a subscriber, he's getting email in the morning. If we have 3 kids at home and they're all subscribed, now we're getting 5 touch points for the price of one single mail piece. We're driving consumer response with interactive content. So if you're doing a fundraising campaign, you can include a link that takes me right to the website and I can make my donation. If you're running a sale in your store, I can have a free shipping coupon. It takes me right to your website and I can redeem my coupon right then and there. I mean, there's a million different ways you can use this. It gives you the ability to reach consumers digitally simply by knowing their physical address. This potentially increases your return on your investment, and you get additional data insights to optimize your marketing. So the basic elements of a campaign start with a well-designed physical mail piece. On the left, this is if you do absolutely nothing. You start with a well-designed physical mail piece. You get this grayscale image in informed delivery, and it has to have a mailer ID and intelligent mail barcode. Okay? If you take that and you want to enhance it and make it interactive, you provide us customized content. So what we call a representative image, which is this color image here, okay? You can make this color image, this representative image, anything you want. It can be your company logo, it can be a coupon, it can be a picture of your newest product, it can be whatever you want. And then you provide interactive content. So that's the ride-along image, what we call the ride-along image. And the ride-along image, if it says click here, I click on it, it takes me to whatever URL you set up as the landing spot where you want to take me. So you want to take me to a testimonial, you want to take me to a product video, you want to take me to your home page, a digital catalog, whatever you want to take me to, that URL is the driver. So how can people use it? Well, we're finding that a lot of different industries are finding creative ways to use informed delivery. Because you have the parameters to work with, we give you the parameters and you have creative license to pretty much do what you want to with it. So financial services, they're using it for bill payment. They're using it for balance transfers. They're using it for credit card offers. The telecom industry, upgrade your phone, see if you're eligible, change your usage plan. So there's all different ways. The telecom industry, e-commerce is huge, right? So a lot of major retailers are using this to go to your website and get a one-day sale, or go to your website and get 30% off, or go to the website and get free shipping today only. You can use it for promotional codes or rewards enrollment, right? So when you go into a store nowadays, everybody wants your email address so they can sign you up for their loyalty program, so you can get an email, so they can send you 100 emails every day to advertise whatever it is they're advertising. This way they can get a mail piece, they can go right to the website, they can sign up and become a loyalty member that way. They don't have to have ever set foot in your store yet, okay? Insurance, policy bundling, claim submissions, and then the government. So we talked about elections. Some campaigns in the country used informed delivery to take someone to a website where the candidate presented their platform, or here's what I feel about gun control, pick an issue. And and they talked about it. So they used informed delivery in election mail. So how can you participate? There's a couple things you have to do. One, you have to plan your campaign, and two, prepare your mailing. You're going to do that anyway, right? You have to provide us the mailing details. So one of the prime components of informed delivery is you have to have an intelligent mail barcode. Okay? If you're doing a substantial mailing campaign, you're going to have an intelligent mail barcode anyway. I don't know, you guys don't do anything that doesn't have an IMB on it, right? Yeah. So most major mailing campaigns nowadays have an intelligent mail barcode on them. Before you're going to give us the campaign elements to make it interactive, so the representative image and the ride-along image. All of this can be done through our mailer campaign portal. The nice folks at Caskey Group can walk you through this process. They're well versed on it if you want to make your campaign interactive. You induct the mailing, and then you analyze and collect the results after. Have you got any color campaigns?
Yes.
Okay. So you get reports when you do an informed delivery campaign, okay? And this is important from the marketing standpoint. So pre-campaign saturation report, if you upload your mailing list, we will tell you how many of those addresses on the mailing list are informed delivery subscribers. So you get that information ahead of time. They'll tell you how many are signed up for email, how many 11-digit delivery point zip codes you have, and how many subscribers are available. And then post-campaign, so once your mailing campaign is over, then you get a post-campaign report that tells you how many subscribers opened their email, how many subscribers clicked through to your website, and it gives you all of those numbers in percentages and then in numbers as well. So you get some valuable information post-campaign. So how to submit, there's two ways, through Postal One with your mail.dat or through the mailer campaign portal, which is fairly new, but it's very simple in our business customer gateway. If you have a username and password, log into that, go into the mailer campaign portal and put the elements in. You literally upload the images you want to use for your representative image and your ride-along image. You give us the sequence numbers of the mailing, the start and end date, and it takes about a minute and a half, right, Swyla? Total process takes about a minute and a half. And then after the campaign is over, we will send you the post-campaign results. They're also available on the dashboard and Business Customer Gateway. So, some next steps if you want to do this, you can speak with me, the group here from Caskey. Sign up for informed delivery, which I'm going to bug you all to sign up today before you leave. Because I want you to see it, try it, use it. If you hate it, you can unsubscribe, you're not stuck to it, but see how it works. And then you can create your informed delivery campaign on the Business Mailers website and then share your experience with friends and colleagues. Any questions? Okay, I'm going to introduce now Katie Ryan. She's the Customer Relations Manager for Caskey Group.
Said, I have been a customer relations manager at Caskey for 15 years, and I have purchased plenty of mail lists for a lot of customers like you. How many of you have purchased mail lists through a company or yourself? They say that your list accounts for as much as 40 to 60% of the success of your mail piece. It's the 20-20-40 rule. 40% the list, 40% the offer, 20% the look of the piece. The key to a good list selection: find out as much as you can about the customers you already have, go find more like them. The right list has the right geographic location, has the right demographics, and has the quantities that you need to satisfy your campaign. Things to consider while you're building this list: where are your customers located? What are their certain demographics? What are their buying preferences? Do they like wine? Do they have a boat? Do they have arts and crafts hobbies? Are they a specific type of business? Restaurants, retail? Or do they already own the product you're trying to sell? Here's an example of a postcard that was done with an offer and a list purchase. You can see they've got free, they've got percentages off. This mail list was a multiple use list, which I'll get into towards the end of this part. It targeted Lancaster and Camp Hill with household income criteria. Types of lists: residential, response list. Response is simple. Somebody got to do something. Or a compiled list. Types of response: buyers, they bought it. Subscribers, they signed up for it. Former subscribers, they unsubscribed. Inquiries: members changed your address at the post office, they attended an event, or they donated to something. Types of compiled lists: business lists, consumer lists. Compiled lists come from any type of public domain: census data, government records. Compiled business lists give you business demographics such as the type of the business, sales numbers, number of employees. It always includes the business name and mailing address. Sometimes you can get the contact name, not always, but you want to be specific to ask if it's available to have it included. But you definitely need to have the title or the function of the person you're trying to reach, because in a large corporation, not having at least that information gets you put right in the trash before it ever leaves the mailroom. Business list suppliers: Axiom, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, TransUnion Business Information. List lingo: when you purchase a mail list, you're not actually buying the list, you're renting it. It's a list rental. It's the licensed usage of the list. You can do it one of two ways: as a single-use list or as a multi-use list. Single means once and done. Multi-use, you can use any variation of that list, part of it, all of it, for up to a 12-month period. Important thing to know about that is when you go through a company like us, we cannot give you the list back. We have a license of contract agreement with the list supplier that we are renting the list. Cannot be passed out then to a third party. Demographics: statistical characteristics, age, income. Psychographics: lifestyle, buying preferences, hobbies. This is an example of a piece we do for a private school every year. He buys 3 lists. 2 is a multi-use, 1 is a single use. He does zip codes, he does household incomes, and he does a characterization for households with children between certain ages, because it's for a private school summer program. This particular piece, because it has children in the criteria, we have to send the picture of the final piece back to the data company to make sure that it's an approved content to be sent to a household with children in it. The first mailing that goes out on this is the brochure. It goes to everybody in all 3 lists. Second mailings that go out a couple of months later as a follow-up use only the 2 multi-use lists. We do more than just buy mail lists for you. We can take your provided mail list, we can merge them with a purchased mail list. We often handle lots of sensitive information, which is why Caskey is now HIPAA compliant as well. We have a very secure share file system that your data can get loaded into, and in 90 days, it gets wiped from our system. Any questions on that? On mail list purchases before I introduce Swiler? All right, Swiler Delp.
Hi everyone, my name is Swiler Delp. I've been with Caskey for 7 years and in the mailing industry for 18 years. I am involved in our local postal customer council as well as several mailing technical advisory committees, which what that means is the post office comes out with some new products. and me as a mailer will actually give them feedback to those products so we can make it better for the end user. So let's talk about our first topic here, drop shipments. How many of you have done a drop shipment or even know what a drop shipment is? I know Charlene does them, Joey does a lot of them. Basically what a drop shipment is in February 1991, cost-saving measures led the USPS began offering postage discounts for mailers who would, at their own cost, actually ship the mail themselves to larger facilities near the final destination of the mail. So this might give you a better visual. So normally the process flow when we drop your mail at the post office is we'll take it from Caskey Group to the postal processing facility. A truck will pick it up at that facility and take it to what's called a national distribution center or a sectional center facility. These are larger processing facilities. And they'll eventually make it to the local post office where the person, actually lives near. What Caskey does with drop shipping is we take the mail ourselves, take it to the processing facility, and we take it back. And we actually take it to NDC or SCF ourselves. So that takes the trucking out of the post office's hands, and because we're doing that, we get a postal discount from the post office. For the NDC, it's about 3.3 cents a piece, and for the SCF, it's about 4.2 cents a piece. So this not only saves money, but it also speeds up delivery. So the benefits of drop shipments are those two, as well as cuts out USPS transportation. We partner with some large players in the industry, FedEx Freight and Old Dominion. That's who we contract out to actually take the mail to the NDC or SCF themselves. And no, drop shipments are only for standard and nonprofit mail. You can't do this with first class mail. First class mail, you're already going to get delivery in 3 to 5 days. So this is an option to actually speed your delivery, because I don't know if many of you have done standard mail or nonprofit mail, it crawls. Okay, and it's normally 7, 10, 15 days. By going NDC, SCF, you're going to hit in home, maybe shave 3 to 5 days off that time. Here's a perfect example. We actually did some political mail, and he actually won, so I'd like to say we had part of that, hopefully. But we drop shipped this political mailer to a Manchester, New Hampshire SCF, and it resulted with the customer saving about $4,200 on 80,000 pieces of mail. So that's quite considerable when you look at that, how much savings you can save. Now, some drawbacks to drop shipments are it's not for small quantity jobs. So if you have a job that's 5,000, it's probably going to take you more money to drop ship it than it would if you did drop ship it. Okay, so it's not for nationwide mailing. So if you're mailing to all over the U.S., again, it needs to be in a geographically concentrated area. Meaning, like, let's say for that political mailer, you're mailing most to New Hampshire, or maybe you're mailing to 2 states. It's very Charlene mails to Delaware and surrounding areas, so it's very cost effective for her. And there's also some shipping cost. That's on a case by case basis, because depending on weight and stuff like that, it definitely varies. So Caskey Group can help determine if drop shipping is right for you. So when we get your data file, we'll process it. We'll see if you have savings, if it makes sense for you, and then we'll bring it to your attention. So the next topic is national change of address. Has anybody heard of NCOA? Okay, perfect. So what is NCOA? NCOA is a database that the USPS has that consists of names and addresses of individuals, families, businesses who have filed a change of address. It contains approximately 160 million changes of address going back 48 months. It's updated every 95 days. Now, this is very important. Caskey, as a service, provides you back those NCOA numbers. So it's very important to take those lists, and actually update your master list. Because if you don't, if it's after 48 months, they're going to fall off of your list. So let's say you do a mailing and the person moved almost 4 years ago, and you do a mailing later on and you don't update your list, that person's just going to fall off. So it's very important to take the list that we provide you and update it. In order to have access to the NCOE database, you must partner with a licensed service provider like Caskey Group. It is important to keep an updated list because if the move falls out like we talked about. And Caskey Group runs all of our clients' lists through NCOA unless it says for their current resident. Now, some of you may use that. I know Joey uses it a lot. And I'll go to the next slide to show you what I mean. So right here's an example. It's a little small, but you can see the name of the person or current resident. Now, where you want to use this is if you were targeting somebody like Joey's targeting, where you want to send a mail piece to the actual address and not the person. Okay. And then also another example would be address service requested, which is what they call the ancillary service endorsement. So you probably got a piece of mail with address service requested, return service requested. That is a post mailing method, and it can cost you money. So I'd recommend against that. I'd recommend NCOA. And the next topic here would be every door direct mail. I don't know if many of you have heard of every door direct mail. You probably received it if you haven't heard. The United States Postal Service has come out with an affordable targeted advertising technique that lets you map your marketing mail audience by age, income, or household size. No mailing list is required. They have a portal. I'll show you on the next slide. Some of the requirements are it has to be at least 6 1/4 inches high. Has to be what they call flat size mail piece. Also, postage costs are as low as 18 cents per mail piece, and it's perfect for businesses of any size. This is an example of an EDDM piece. This is actually one Joey has sent out for American Water. So this type of mailing is perfect for this because you want to hit a certain geography. You don't care who's in that geography, you just want to hit everybody that lives in that route. So this is perfect for pizza shops, people are letting you know about some work that's being done around their house. My church uses it a lot. We do a quarterly mailing, it's 35,000 emails to notify our surrounding communities about upcoming events at our church. This is what the tool looks like actually online. Here's the URL. If you just type in eddm.usps.com, you'll see it. But this allows you like an intuitive map where you can type in a zip code or even address, and you can map areas around you want to go to. It'll give you actually how many pieces are in that area, so you can target exactly where you want to hit, even down to the street level. You can zoom in. But you have to mail to a full route. That's the only catch. Two types of EDDM. It's very important to know. EDDM retail versus EDDM BMEU, which is bulk mail trading. Some of the differences between these are, with EDDM retail, you don't need an indicia. You can use a generic indicia. Okay. Also, the labeling's a little bit different on them. But there's not many differences. BMEU is for larger mailings. If you want to do a large mailing, you want to go BMEU, EDDM. I know it's a little dry, but I just want to give you as much information as possible. The next screen, Caskey has worked and partnered with the post office, so we're actually preferred printer. So if you go to find a printer online around your area and you type in the local area, it will actually come up as a hit. So our last thing, and near and dear to my heart, is informed visibility. It kind of partners with what Audra is doing with informed delivery. How many of you have ever tracked your mail? No. Anybody else? Okay. So informed visibility, this is a newer technology that the USPS has come out with that's near real-time single source for all mail and mail aggregate tracking information. So the post office, what they'll do is they'll give you data feeds, but it's only raw data. It gives you where your post office is in the mail stream at the current time. For most recipients, the amount, complexity, and frequency of that data makes it necessary to utilize an expert or a third party to process the data into a usable format and provide relevant reports. So Caskey Group has developed their own. So Audra had alluded to the IMB. That is the key component right there, is IMB drives everything. That identifies the mail piece. So we developed our own tracking system. It automatically sends you emails at incremented times. It allows you to retrieve your mailing data from our secure online portal. So you can actually see when a person, when it's going to deliver, if it has to. So here's a part of the dashboard that we have. These are all the campaigns. If you click on one of those buttons, it would bring up all the mailing information, the mail date, the class of mail, how many pieces you mailed. It'll give you pie charts, tell you how many have delivered already, every day how many delivered, and even a state map that'll tell you how many have delivered. You can also download an Excel file that you can actually open up and see down to the person level who delivered. So it's very important information, especially if you have high-end donors and so on and so forth, that you can actually see when it delivered. And the post office actually just came out with what they call an API. You can make a call to their servers real time. They'll actually pull all the information for a single person. So it's kind of impressive, because if you think about it, FedEx and UPS, yeah, they track packages, but USPS is tracking every single mail piece. And there's billions and billions of pieces of mail out there at one time. So does anybody have any questions?
What are some of the challenges that you know, what are the challenges that you see in what you do? Does anybody have anything that really stands out to them?
I have a question about the business element of it. If it's not a home delivery type of piece, and you're trying to send it to the person at work, how some of this would kind of correlate to that.
Yeah, important delivery right now, correct me if I'm wrong, Alger, it has an issue with doing that. They are working on that. Now, but I think you said in your seminar, small B2B, where a person's home office would be, you know, their home, it would work there. But yeah, the business, they're still working out those bugs with it. So good question.
Can you target businesses with PDMs?
Yes, yes. Not just businesses, because you have to mail to a certain amount of the route, but you can, let's say, like my church, for example, we don't want to send mail to businesses, we just want to send it to residents. So we can say just send to residents, or we can say send to residents and businesses. So
If I could just add to that,
Sure.
the mapping tool will give you the residential versus business breakdown
Yes.
of each route. So if you
yes,
wanted to concentrate on, let's say, like in my area, downtown Allentown, which is 90% businesses, you could select those 2 or 3 routes that are primarily all businesses and mail to them.
yes, you can. Yep, definitely can. I can show. Yeah. Yeah, EDDM's a great tool. Now, I know Joey has done a ton of EDDM mailings with us. Any other questions?
Yeah, just a comment,
Sure.
with the interiors home piece you showed earlier. What we've done in the past there is actually found wealthy communities within the county and just named streets there that were in, and found the routes, and then when we did EDM for them, it went to those communities. And even on the route, there might have been other homes, but all those $1 million homes were getting.
It's a good point. It's aggregate information on those routes. So you'll get the complete, like if it's age or income, it'll give you like aggregate information, but you have to nail that route.
The advantage of APDM is it's the least expensive way
Yes.
to do the direction.
Yes, exactly, exactly. Any other questions?
So for form delivery, then, if I don't have the application downloaded, then there's no, the marketing, if I don't have that, if somebody uses it as a marketing piece and they have the image, then I'm gonna see that in my report, right? Is that the idea? So I
Yes,
get-
so
and I
you're
can
gonna get the
interact.
subscriber number, so let's say hypothetically you're sending out 10,000 pieces.
Right.
We're gonna know out of those 10,000 addresses, 8,500 of those people are informed delivery subscribers. So you get all that data, and then we're gonna tell you after the mailing
based on that initial report, you could choose to mail only to the people that had the app downloaded. You could mail to.
Well, it's not an app, it's a subscription.
Or
So it's a
subscription.
subscription. It's an email subscription. And we can drill down by zip code, but we cannot drill down exactly by direct address. So,
But that's where we come in, because what they're putting back on, they're tacking on now is the actual barcode information, so we can tell you now, once we get that information back from them, because they put the minute serial number on, we can tell you what person that was on our end, on your mail list.
Okay, so between the two,
Yes.
okay.
Because they can't tie that information back and provide it, I'm sure, because of legal reasons and privacy. But we definitely could, since we created that IME barcode, we can match that back. That's basically what we do with informed visibility. We get all the barcode information back, we match it back, that's how we know what person it
I just wanted to say too, on informed visibility, the cool part of informed visibility, because it's kind of boring, right? We're tracking barcodes. But you know that I'm getting your piece of mail today, right? And I'm one of your best customers. So maybe tomorrow you send me an email that says, hey, Audra, don't miss our offer, or, we sent you this, or whatever the communication is. But it's just, and the more information you have, the more you can better engage your customer. So that's really the beauty of the technical barcode, boring stuff about tracking your mail.
is. Well, I know sometimes,
We tracked it because we just had that big, massive 17,000 gift giveaway. The
Yeah.
one mailer at the beginning with the gift giveaway for the copper pots was us. I work at the casino in Harrington, Delaware, but we did that mass mailing, and we did what we say, send it to the SCF.
Yep.
And there was people saying, well, I didn't get my mail yet, I didn't get my mail yet. And I was one of them, and I'm like, I always get my mail. I was like, what is going on? And Swiler sent me the report, and I was like, there was 7,000 people that their mail was still just out in the system, just out there, nowhere in no land. And of course it was me and my general manager and my director of marketing, of course. And actually the director of marketing and my GM live around the corner from each other. And my director of marketing got his 2 days before, and it's the same post office. So it's kind of weird. I live in a separate city, so I was like, this is not usual. But I kept telling Swaddles, just keep sending me reports, because I got to make sure this mails, because they had to pick up first week, second week, third week, and fourth week. And we were actually we're getting ready tomorrow, they're making the third week delivery. And our response has been so good, we actually had to order additional pieces, because we originally ordered 3,000 of each pot, and we're now over 4,000 of each pot. So our response rate is going through the roof. The floor has been busy, which is the ultimate goal, is to get the people into the casino. You want them to play. It's a trip. It gets them in, and people are in line waiting for them. And we ran out actually on Monday of the pots and had to give rain checks for Tuesday. So yeah, so we're interested to see how the revenues play out. That's our business as a casino, is to increase revenues, of course. And in order to make the campaign successful, our revenues have to increase by $1 million for the month. So my general manager has been analyzing all the numbers and trying to figure out if they're actually just moving their play to another day. Instead of coming in on a Wednesday or Thursday, they're now coming in on Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday and playing. So it's kind of playing haywire right now until this is all done. But the tracking has been amazing, because I use it regularly. I will call, if a list even disappears, I'll call in and say, I need the list because somebody's saying they didn't get their mail. Because we do have customers who are husband and wife or spouse or whatever. They'll call and say, well, I didn't get my mail piece, but they did. Or it's, I didn't get my mail. And I check it and I'm like, well, it was delivered on this day. And they're like, wonder if my wife got it and threw it away. It's like, the husbands are the ones that question it, because they're like, where's my mail go? And I'm like, I don't know, but I know it was delivered. That's all I can tell you. And it's been a saving grace on our end, because before that was implemented, we would have customers come and say, I don't get my mail, I'm not getting my offers, I'm not getting my newsletter. Now they can come to me and I look them up, and I can say, no, your mail was delivered, or if it's not delivered, there was a problem with your address. So we now can better help our customers with their mail than what we used to be able to do.
used to be a black hole almost. That's how I relate it, because you didn't used to be able to. I mean, to this level. I mean, there were predecessors to informed visibility, but it really does. Down to the personal level, you can look them up. And it like Audra said, woo-woo, but it's very important. You
I
know,
like the woo-woo.
when you're tracking. So, yeah.
Yeah, it gives the customers a comfort,
Sure.
a comfort zone. And I experienced it this past week where we did a 49,000 piece mailing. It's a Christmas flyer, so they want to sell Christian books. They want the product out there. And the manager just said to me, I wonder how our mailing's doing. And I surprised him with showing the tracking for over 26,000 of them had already been delivered. And he said, I'm happy. And so that really made a difference to him. So.
All right. Two other things, just real quick.
Yep.
The things that, two things that we see a lot of is we have postal accounts that set up at Caskey with about 10 customers that they don't postal money into their own postal account. And when you get these rush mailings that they need to be out, they're not waiting on checks, that kind of thing. So that's been a big help for the mailings that have to go out right away. And the other one is what I see a lot of is when it comes to data, a lot of, especially in the private school world, is there's who's controlling the data. And a lot of times we'll do the NCOAs or we'll go back and say, hey, here's the data that needs to be updated, but there's no one there to update that data, or there's a real concerns inside some of these organizations. And I see this constantly where trying to make sure that data is as accurate as possible. And there's just a lot of there's just not enough manpower in these organizations. So, I think even on our own companies, when we get the do not mail list, try and make sure the lists are there, make sure that we do.
Yeah, and that's true, Tony, because in the casino business, a lot of people move. I mean, our DC market moves. I can't imagine these people move all the time, but they do. And our database back in the day, when we originally first had our database system, which is our player tracking system, we weren't able to load. We had to manually go in and say, this person moved, this person moved. We had to actually manually do the addresses. Well, we just upgraded our system. God love it. And I take that report that they send me, and I do it on a quarterly basis, because every 3 months is our massive 68,000 piece of mail. And I can now take what Swyler and them give me, and I can push a button, tag the fields that match our system, and load it. And I load all of them change of addresses in. And then they come in and they're like, oh, you already have my address changed. And they're like, yeah, our mail person has got the change of address and updated it. Whereas before we were getting a lot of return mail. Our return mail has dropped drastically since we've been able to implement that also. So if you have a good organization where you can get in there and actually scrub your database and be able to fix those addresses, that's a good thing. The only thing is the invalids we still have to manually do. So that takes us time, but we have a couple of people that help out with that. So sorry, I can't get you again.
That's good. Is there anything we didn't cover? Should we want to cover? Anything that- All right, Jake. Somebody else?
What is the fee or the cost for the subscription to the?
Oh, I love this question. It is free, and it is free to do an interactive campaign. So you're already doing the mailing.
Right.
Let's make it interactive. It is free.
Just gotta do it right now.
I feel like Oprah, and you get a mail
So, my name's Jason Martin. I'm the VP of Creative. I got the easiest job today. So we got some door prizes. The first one is a $50 Amazon card. So we can pick a name. Everybody has a name in there. Here we go.
Adam Grimm?
Adam Grimm. All right, Adam. All right, next is we get a informed delivery campaigns. We've got 2 of them. So just see us. We'll have some contact information on the cards, and we'll set up some informed delivery campaigns. Steve Core.
American
that's
Tile
me.
Specialties.
All right.
He's like, oh, that's
Thank you.
me.
All right, we've got another informed delivery campaign.
Yeah, and then you don't forget your name again.
Get your
Did I
name.
say it right?
No, I'm just kidding.
Haley Doborn.
Haley. All right, Haley. That is the other informed delivery. Okay. So the other part is we've got, actually, I'm sorry, I'll give you a informed delivery campaign. Okay, so I got two IMB tracking campaigns here. Let's see. Very good. The second campaign.
Did you do that?
If you look into it, it's clear, so you might be able to see it. So,
Joy Toronto.
I want to thank you all for coming today. I appreciate it. Hopefully, you got some good information. Just as a reminder, Audra is going to be signing up for the informed delivery. We'll move this out of the way. And then also, if you could, Amanda, raise your hand back there. Amanda's going to be collecting the surveys. If you can take a couple minutes just to fill out a survey and let us know how we did. That's just to improve our seminars as we go. And we are going to be putting out more seminars in 2019, so please keep an eye out. We'll invite everybody to attend those as well. Yep. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
Your driver's license, get ready.